Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be making a bead lizard. So I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. Give me a sec. So this is my lizard. This one isn't the best example just because it's not so flat. It's kind of old and the string is kind of bent. So that's not the best example. This is a good example of the lizard I'm going to be making today. I don't know why, but I kind of like this random bead. It's kind of like a birthmark. I don't know. But, so I actually have a lot... Ooh. Don't ask what that was. I actually have quite a lot of these lizards that I made over the years. I enjoy making these, so I guess that's the reason why. So this is one lizard. This is another one. And then I also have a tiny little baby one. I made it out of different type of beads. Like this is, this type of beads. I do not know what they're called. And then these ones, I do not know what, I do not know the names of different types of beads, but all I can say is that these beads are smaller and these beads are bigger, so big lizard, really tiny lizard. And I actually also have this one. I think this one's my favorite. And then there's one more I have, which is somewhere within my collection here. I have this really cute one. So wait, I actually have more tiny lizards. I have this one that has like purple and that pink, and then there's this one, and there's one more. It kind of looks like one of those I forgot what they're called, but there's like one of those lizards that kind of like go on fire, that can go on fire. But, like, it looks like one of those nighttime lizards. Alright, so let's actually get started with the video because I did a lot of talking for the past 2 minutes. Please don't subscribe to me for that. And this is, well, a new lamp thing. I reviewed it in I think it was my last video, and I think it's going to improve my lighting. So this is without it, this is with it. Yeah, I've totally improved my lighting. So this is my first video with that. Anyways, so for this, you're going to need string, scissors to cut the string, and for the end. And you're also going to need beads. Well, that's kind of obvious. That's actually the last thing you need. But these are the beads I'm going to be using. Well, I actually do not have the exact number of beads you're going to need, but I can say you're going to need like at least 20 of this color, around, like, it depends on what you're doing, but I would recommend having at least 10 of each color of beads that you're doing for like the stripe thing. And you're only going to need 2 beads for the eyes. For the paws, well, are they called paws on lizards? I don't really know, actually. But, well, for here, you're going to need, I think, 12. Yeah, 12. Actually, wait. Yeah, 12. Sorry, my math is kind of confusing me now. Anyways, I think I'm talking way too much, so I'm going to finally get started. I sincerely apologize for talking too much. So, let's get started. You're going to want to start by cutting up your string. I am going to be honest, I don't normally measure. I normally just kind of wing it. What I do is I do it approximately 3 rulers long. That's how long I normally try to make it. I obviously try to make it a bit longer, but just for reference, this is how long I'm going to be cutting mine. I'm sorry that I don't have a specific measurement, I know, but all I can say is that you're going to want it pretty long. Like, I'm trying to find something for comparison. This is too small. I really don't have anything to compare it to, but all I can really say is that you're going to need quite a lot of string for it. This is the string all in one bundle, the length I have it in. Okay, so I'm sorry I don't have an exact measurement, but that is gonna have to work for us right now. So this is our string. So what you're gonna want to do first is you're going to want to. Oh wait, so you actually can use a bead for this. Well, okay, let's put this a different way. Sorry. Scratch what I just said. That was confusing. You're actually going to also need like a clothespin or something that you can hook onto this thing. So it has to be something that you can hook onto this thing, and when these 2 ends are closed, you can still take off. Not like you can't use a bead for it. obviously, but you're gonna have to use some sort of like clip for it. So I totally forgot that. I'm sorry, I missed that. So what you're going to do is you are going to go to your two ends, kind of put them side by side, and then you want to go up. So you're going to want to make kind of like a hole here, and you're going to want to put your clip here. Try to find one of those clips where you can put it so it kind of like stays there to some extent. Okay, so once you have your pin marked in the middle of your string, you are going to want to take your first two beads. I actually am thinking right now of a yellow lizard. So for that, what you're going to want to do, so you're going to take your two beads. Don't mind, these are two different shades of yellow. Right now, I'm just going to try to make it mostly yellow. So you're going to want to put your beads on any side you want. It doesn't really matter what side you put it on. So once you've got your beads on one of your sides, so this is kind of what it's looking like right now. Nothing on this side, two beads on this side. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this side and pull it through these two beads. So it's kind of like making a knot, but with these beads in it. You're going to want to put it inside these two beads, and then you're going to want to pull it until you're over here. So it might get a bit tangly, but so once you're at like this point with your clip over here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull it so it's kind of like this. You're going to want to do that one more time. So if you look here, this is kind of the main part of how we're going to be making our lizard. So this is where you can look off to. So we did two beads. I'll show you again. So now we're going to need three beads. So 1, 2, 3. I have 3 beads. So you are going to, but actually there are eyes here. I kind of missaw that. So I'm gonna use orange eyes. Just remember, you can do any color you want. So I'm gonna do 2 orange eyes and 1 bead in the center, because if you look here, 2 eyes. Okay, so we are gonna put in this bead, and 1 more. So once you have it on one side, it doesn't matter what side it is, and then you're gonna want to take this side, put your bead through it. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to show you the base. So that's actually what you're going to be doing for most of the time. Ooh, this guy's in the way. Alright, so once you've done this far, you can take this clip off, or whatever clip you're using. Alright, so this is the starting of a head. So we're going to do what we did at the beginning again. So I'm going to take 2 yellows. I'm going to put it through this end. That's what I'm going to do right now. Yeah. And then you're going to want to take your other end and then just simply place it through the beads. I'm not that fast at it. Okay, oh my god. Yeah. Alright, so if your thing kind of gets a bit like moving up like that, that is totally normal. That's totally okay. So this is your lizard's head. So right now you're gonna want to. So I'm gonna show you this lizard as an example. So we did like this part. What you're gonna want to do now is this part. So the hands don't really matter for this part. You're just gonna want to put your starting color for your pattern. So for my pattern, I'm thinking of doing red. So I'm gonna have my red, and I'm gonna take 2 yellows. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing again. Wrong color. Yellow, red, or whatever color you're using. And then another one, or another color from the beginning. And then you're going to take your other end and simply place it through. Okay. So you're going to want to pull it all the way through so it looks like this. Of course, it is going to look a bit messy now, but at the end, it is not going to look as messy. It is going to look pretty nice. Like, this is a bracelet I made out of this thread. Well, not bracelet, sorry. This is a lizard I made out of this thread. This one I made out of like a yarn thread, like more like a yarn. And, well, that is my lizard. So this is where I'm at right now. Just make sure to pause the video if you're not at this point. Right now we're going to do the arms. So the arm is really simple. There's actually a good thing about this design is that there's one arm here, one arm here, they are the same. Normally in animals, like the back legs are kind of different size than the front legs. Alright, so you're going to want to, for this part, you're going to want to put 2 beads in one of your ends. But here's the thing, you're not going to do the same thing as you did before. So you're just going to have 2 beads here. And then you're going to want to put 3 beads of the color you want to use for your paws. You can just use the same color as what you were doing for your main lizard, but I like to keep my paws a different color. So once you have it like that, there should be 5 beads in total. You're going to want to place it through here, through these 2 beads. And these 3 you're going to want to keep here. And now if you notice, it looks a bit like a paw. Like that. Of course, it's not how it's going to perfectly look. Alright, there we go. Perfect. So now you're just going to want to do it on the other side. So I'm going to go do it on the other side. There. So I did my other arm, and we're actually, from this point on, we're just going to do the same thing 3 times. So we're going to do 3 beads here, just like we did here. We're actually going to really be doing the same thing, except for me, it's going to be the 2 beads here are going to be this yellow, and in the center it's going to be red. So you're going to do that 3 times after you do the arms. So I'll come back to you in a sec. Okay, so I did 1. Just remember to pause the video as you're going for this, because I do not have much time to film. I'm sorry, I'm kind of speeding for this. But I'm going to do 1 more, as I said, to do 3, so I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm back, and I know that the shades of yellow are kind of different on each bead, but to be honest, I think it's going to make it look a bit more fun. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 more row, I'll be back in a sec. And I am back again. So I finished this part, so really we basically just finished the body. We're just going to do the legs, its butt, and then the tail. So for the legs, you're going to do the same things you did up here. I'm just going to do that 1 more time in case I made it unclear. Oops. Don't ask what just happened. So for here, we're going to do the arms, well, the legs. So I'm going to try to find the yellow. Okay. So I'm just going to show you 1 more time. I am really sorry I'm really speeding through this video. I just don't really have much time to use to film because my camera can only film 15-minute videos, and it literally just stops filming as soon as 15 minutes pass. So I'm just going to put these beads on here. 1 more bead. Okay. So you're going to have 2 of your body color, 3 of your paw color, and then you're just going to kind of place this in the yellow. Alright. And then you're just going to pull. Like, you do not want to put it through the red ones. Do not put it through the red ones. That is going to be the biggest mistake while making this thing. Otherwise, you're going to be like, oh no, it's not working. I mean, hey, I get that feeling a lot. I do not know why. I just tend to not really look at instructions all the time. So, do not use me as a role model. Well, for this you can. Okay, so I did 1 leg. I finished the yellow leg. I know I'm really rushing for this, but I kind of don't really have a choice. Okay, so now we're just going to do the butt, I guess. So you're just going to want to take your 2 beads. Wait, let me find another one. Alright, and then you're going to want to put this end through these 2 beads over here. Okay, so once you're at this point, you're going to want to do the tail. And the tail is actually pretty simple. You're just going to do that again, but with only 1 bead. So I will quickly demonstrate that. You know, I'm actually thinking for the tail, I want to do a kind of cute pattern just to make sure I'm not really using yellow a lot. So I'm just going to put in one orange bead. So in for there, and let's do that again. Okay, there we go. So you're just going to do that 4 more times after you did the first one. So I'm going to do that, and I'm done. So from here, you're just going to want to do 1 simple knot. Well, maybe not 1, maybe twice, or maybe even 3 times. You know, I'm going to do it 3 times. So at this point, you're going to want to tie your thing if you want to. Like, if you want to make a keychain, you're just going to want to tie it there. So this is the finished result. So you can just pause the video there if you want to look at for reference. Okay, so this is actually it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.